Hey, howdy there again, folks. Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel, come back at you with another offering off of my Sampler Platter. Yes, indeed, folks, this is a series of videos I've been doing for a little bit now, where I go over there, I try out food and drink items, and then I go over there and I talk about them. I eventually upload them onto, the internet using magic. In case you weren't aware, that's actually how the world works. It's none of it has to do with technology or human advancement or anything like that. Magic. Flat out magic. But not the magic you're thinking of. No, this is a special magic known only to people with Peter Cannon Thunderbolt posters, crappy old ladders, and badass The Thing, oh yeah, John Carpenter's The Thing, t-shirts. I just got this one last week. Very happy with it. From TeePublic. I'll give them a little bit of a shout out. It's teepublic.com. So, and they have fancy designs and stuff, and this is one of them. And it's super cool. I love it. Anyway, folks, awesome shirt aside. I mean, because I could go on and on about the awesome shirt. I could do it. You know I could. Anybody who's seen my videos, you know I could go on about my awesome shirt. But I'm not gonna. At least not right now. Maybe one day I'll have a special shirt episode. Now, folks, I'm here to try something for you today. What am I here to try for you? Well, presumably, you've already seen the, title of the video, but who knows, maybe you're, for some reason, on a playlist run of Brandon's Sampler Platter videos. That would never happen, but I guess it could, and maybe you're going over there and it's just going, and so you don't know, so I've got to go over there and I've got to tell you, boom! Yes, indeed, folks, we have Oak Creek Barrel-Aged Sodas Blonde Barrel-Aged Root Beer. To say that I was intrigued when I saw this would be an accurate statement. I didn't exactly go over there and, run down an old lady or anything like that to get to it when I saw it. But I certainly was intrigued. And so, I figured, hey, this looks like good Brandon Sampler fodder material. And on top of that, it's root beer. And I fucking love root beer, folks. No joking, it's easily one of my very favorite drinks. Has been since I was a kid. It's probably my favorite soda. Although, I don't think I've uploaded it yet at this point. Though I honestly forget at this point. But I don't believe so. But I did an episode where I went over there and I tried out some fancy sodas. Well, I've done a few of those. And I mentioned that birch beer is actually probably my overall favorite when it's really good. Birch beer it's its own thing, but it's kind of in the root beer-ish family. So, but anyway, in terms of just overall, root beer tends to work out really well. But blonde root beer, insert 90s blonde joke here, root beer? So I figured, okay, what does it make it blonde besides the fact that it's clearly not, standard root beer flavor, or root beer, color. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Well, it's 25% brown sugar, 75% real sugar. Also mentions that it's 0 proof, which is funny because when I went to go buy it from the Jewel, which is where I got it, supermarket in Illinois, and I assume maybe some surrounding states, when I went to go buy it, the kid who was going over there and running the register called over his manager because he assumed it was just booze. So his manager laughed at him. But not in a mean way, in a chuckle way where they all had good fun. Anyway, it's got a little thing on the back here. Blonde barrel-aged root beer showcases the mastery of the barrel-aging process. So the rich and velvety root beer varietal starts like a decadent cream soda and finishes with the spice of vintage root beer. Blonde's subtle color is as a result of 25% brown sugar used to sweeten the batch. Share your blonde. I mean, again, insert, 90s blonde joke here. But yes, apparently it's 25% brown sugar, 75% real sugar, caffeine-free, gluten-free, Oak Creek, oakcreekbarrelagedsodas.com. I'll actually probably check that out and see if there's, I would assume with them being called So Does, they have other available. Ingredients: water, sugar, brown sugar, and natural and artificial caramel coloring, phosphoric acid, sodium benzoate. Yeah, okay. So, anyway, I'm going to try it. It's Best by 30321, so I've still got plenty of time on that. And we're going to give this a shot, and hopefully it's magical and wonderful and oh so wonderful. I've got my my electrical cabinet key, which doubles as my my bottle opener. Does a really good job of it. There we go. Got it open. And actually, looking at it now, it might have been a twist off. I don't know, the inside doesn't look like... I don't know, anyway. Salut! Alright. Okay. Well, my immediate impressions. I will agree more or less with their assessment on the back, with them saying that it kind of starts out more like a cream soda. Uh, and then it kind of veers more into root beer territory near the end. Um, it it definitely has, like, it's an interesting hybrid. I don't know if I would calling it. I mean, I guess the overall process and everything, is what makes it root beer or whatever. Um, but it's almost something. I don't mind them marketing it as, like, a blonde root beer. I actually kind of like that title. But in terms of what it's actually presenting, it's kind of a hybrid, So, because yeah, yeah, and I'll say too, like, it doesn't. You don't get, unless you really, like, the first swig I did was a pretty good one. It doesn't seem like you really get the root beerness unless you get, like, a really good mouthful of it. If you're just kind of sipping it, it kind of moves too quickly, and you really just get the cream soda kind of effect. And mind you, I'm not saying it's exactly like a cream soda. It's almost like a hard cream soda type of thing. Except, well, I shouldn't say that. Like, hard generally would denote, like an alcohol. Um, but yeah, for me personally, it does really kind of feel almost more along the lines of a cream soda, just with more of a little extra bite to it, which isn't unpleasant. Excuse me. I really like cream soda. It's another soda I really enjoy. So, giving it that extra bite is actually a really nice thing. Oh, fight down the acid reflux. Kidding holders suck ass. Um, oh, it's all in your mind. Bullshit. Um, no one ever dreamed up acid reflux. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a good soda. Like, I mean, that I suppose is the main takeaway. It is very tasty. As a root beer, because that's really what I have to, judge it on. Um, where would it fall for me in terms of root beerness? Again, like, just because of the way it is, it's lighter than kind of, a normal root beer. So, probably my favorite root beer, and I actually happen to have an old bottle right here, probably Dad's in terms of commercial root beers, like ones that are, generally pretty easy to get a hold of, though Dad's for some reason is getting harder and harder. Um, with this, I mean, It almost runs along the line of kind of like an A&W, but with more to it. Which I enjoy A&W, but A&W is it's the basic root beer, And again, it's not a bad thing. It's just what it is. With this, it's almost like that, but just kind of like elevated, I guess. So I'm sure that was entertaining to watch. Um, yeah, it's definitely one of those sodas where you really have to kind of get enough of it moving through your taste buds for you to really kind of get the full effect of it. Uh, but yeah, like I said, I mean, it's a good overall soda. It does a pretty good job of being what it is, and it's, if nothing else, it's interesting for sure. I can't say that I've ever had anything that's exactly like it, but at the same time, it's certainly not entirely dissimilar. So, you know, yeah, yeah. Like I said, I mean, just as a root beer, I certainly wouldn't put it up with the upper echelons of root beers that I'm particularly fond of, because I do tend to prefer root beers that are, excuse me, maybe a little bit more complex. And certainly have more bite to them. But this, like I said, I do like the notion of a blonde root beer. That's kind of cool. And if I were to, I don't know if that's a term that they've solely come up with, or if it's like actually its own category. I've certainly never run into another blonde root beer. I'd be interested in trying other ones to see how they stack up. But yeah, I mean, Oak Creek barrel aged sodas, you did a fine job. This was a very tasty soda. Like I said, just maybe not exactly what I'm looking for in a root beer for me personally, but again, like I would absolutely get this again. But not if I was super in the mood for root beer. If I were going to do that, I'd maybe get like a Barks, or like I said, a Dad's if I could run into it. Something to that effect. But if those weren't available, and for some reason this was, which would be kind of weird, but sure, why not? Yeah, I would definitely go with this just fine. But yeah, it's a nifty drink. I certainly enjoyed it. I think they did a fantastic job, not only with the flavor and everything, but the way they marketed it. Like I said, the whole blonde thing. I like that idea. So anyway, yeah, that's going to be it for me and my little review of the Oak Creek Barrel Aged Blonde root beer. So, would I go over there and recommend it? Absolutely. If you're a fan of root beer or craft sodas or anything like that, if you can find some, absolutely give it a shot. If nothing else, like I said, it's just so hard to recommend it as a root beer. But at the same time, I mean, that's kind of where it falls. But yeah, I don't think you'll dislike it or anything like that. It's just, again, as a root beer, it's definitely kind of its own category, which is, again, I think very cool. Anyway, folks, that's going to be it for me. If you could go over there, do 5 things for me real quick before we head out. If you go over there, have yourself a fantastic rest of your day, a stupendous rest of your week, a monumental rest of your month, a phenomenal rest of your year, and I don't know, super special, amazing, fantastic, possible rest of your life. That'd be fantastic. And folks, 2 more things real quick. If you could go over there, could try to bring some positivity in the world. It's always appreciated. Sorry. My brain is just a little bit discombobulated at the moment. So, but you could, like I said, if you could go over there, bring some positivity to the world. Always appreciated. Not always possible, But if nothing else, try not to be an asshole. Yeah, again, not always possible, but I think usually most people we can maintain at the very least that minimum standard. Let's at least give the effort. Right, folks? Right. And then the final thing, folks, if you could go over there and do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Maybe you're going to go over there. Maybe you're going to come up with a redhead root beer. I wouldn't really, like, brunette is kind of the standard root beer color anyway. Gray root beer? I don't know if that's, I like gray as a color, but I don't know if that sounds great. But maybe you're going to go do that, or maybe you're going to come up with some other craft stuff or whatever. Maybe you're going to go over there and come out with artisan birdhouses. Ugh. Whatever the thing is for you, especially if it's something positive, something you can bring into the world, fantastic, folks. You go out and you do that. Anyway, folks, that's going to be it for me. So, y'all have a great rest of your day or whatever the hell you're doing.